Hello guys, welcome to our channel once again. Delta Lake is an open source storage layer that brings reliability to data lakes. Delta Lake provides ACID transactions, scalable metadata handling, and unifies streaming and batch data processing. Delta Lake runs on top of your existing data lake and is fully compatible with Apache Spark APIs. It offers many features over a typical data frame. Some of them are listed here. We are going to see some of the basic feature in hands-on demo. Different ways of creating Delta table. DML operations on Delta table. Time travel on Delta table. Table utility commands. Let's get started with ways of creating Delta table. Easiest way to do is this: create table if not exists, and you give here your table name. Define the schema and you tell that this is a Delta table. Then the important part is location, where your all the Parquet file is going to be saved, so you just run this. One important part is if not exists, this is optional part. Let's see what happens if you don't keep it. If I remove it and run it again, and if it finds a table, it will throw an error, so it is always a good practice to give it this way. Now we've got an empty table, so if you query it, you're not going to find anything. Now we can go ahead and we can make some DML operation. We're going to ingest 3 records into this. This is very much similar to your any standard SQL. Internally what it does is, it creates Parquet file only. Now if you query again, you can find 3 records here. This is as simple as that. Now we move on to the second method. The second way of creating Delta table is that if you already have some Parquet file available in your data lake, you can just pick those files and you can convert that into a Delta. What this step is going to do is it is going to read the file which is available in this place into data frame, and then this data frame will be written into this location in the form of Delta. Let's run this and see what happens. It's running, it's taking some time now. You can see this is a data. This is how my data is stored in the CSV file. Now what we'll do is we'll create a table on top of this location, which we just now saved here. This is the same location. Now I'm going to convert this location into the table, and you'll notice that here we have not given any schema. It will infer the schema directly based on the file. It will have the same number of column as available in your file. Let's query this table. You can see all those columns available here. This is exactly matching with our file output, so this is our second way of creating. In line with that same thing that we can do is we can create the same Delta table with the data frame also here. Also more or less you're doing the same thing. We're reading from this JSON. It supports CSV, JSON and Parquet, all 3 formats. Now here what you're doing is you're reading from this location, and we're adding one more column called date. This date we are populated by converting this, so in original form the date was different. But now after converts, and this is how it will look. One important feature we want to tell here is the partition. So if you have a huge table, and you want to make use of your partitioning, you can provide your partition by here. It supports partition, and just like any SQL horizontal partitioning, what is the difference you can see is when you display this files in the file location where we have created this Delta table, you can see that there is a subfolder created based on the date, and because we have these different dates you can see this. So this is another feature of Delta. Now let's go ahead and try to make some modification, because that is one of the best features of Delta table. You can make some modification. We have already done insert. Now we will see the updates. I'm updating a country where it was India. I'll change it to UK and update is done. Let's again query. Now you see the India has been converted to U, so it is very simple to update. Now You must be wondering what is this version as of here. So if you remove this, see again, now the importance of this is on the time travel, which is an inbuilt feature of Delta table. You can query the previous version of this table as over 4th version, or if you want to see before my update how my data was. So you can see it how it was in 3rd version. It was India. We can go back and see other versions also, as we did inserts in 3 different commands it created 3 versions. Very important feature of Delta table, so how you can do? How do you know which version it is in? So what you can do is you can make use of different features of utility commands of Delta table, like describe history. Now we can see how many version it has already done. See versions here, maximum is 4th. It also has a timestamp, so when we say a time travel, you can use either version of this, or you can also use a timestamp with this timestamp. I'll just pick up this timestamp and apply it here. You can see we're going back to the 3rd version of table based on the timestamp. One more utility command you can use is describe details. This details will tell you what is the location your Delta table is created, when it is modified, if there is any partitioning or not, like in the previous method, we have seen that we have done a partitioning right. So if you go back, and if you query this table events which we created based on the partition, you can see this partitioning here. This is a very cool feature of this. Thanks for watching the video.